So here's my very first really big topwork project. It all started about 2 years ago. August 2016, I put my very first grafts on this tree. The tree was just recovering from being trimmed way back from the power lines. And so I had some successful grafts and I increased the vision. Decided to eliminate the Haden completely and add some new interesting varieties to the tree. So now there's like over 8 varieties. And it was really fun season this year because, let's see, we had Jahangir, we had Julie, Angie, Honeykiss, and K3 or Kathy all fruited for us. We even had a couple of cotton candy. They were sort of lost in the foliage, so I didn't discover them until too late. But right now, all we have are 2 K3 mangoes hanging there. Easy to avoid. I am in the mood to prune, and this is the target tree. Now, not only do I want to trim for size, but because there's so many varieties on this tree, I have to keep those varieties separate. It's easy for one variety to become dominant and just shade out the other varieties and really take over the tree. So if you are trimming your multi-grafted tree, multi-varieties on the same tree, make sure that you even out the growth on each variety. That will make for a more balanced tree and you'll be happier in the long run. You know, the original Haden limbs each had one variety on them. Sometimes there were 2 limbs that had the same variety, but no more than one variety per limb. So my job here is to follow the original Haden limbs and make sure that the growth, the grafts from those limbs do not crowd out the neighboring limbs. So here we are at, this is Honeykiss. This lower branch is Angie. And then we have some K3 over here. So, of course, we want to make this a little bit shorter and cut out a lot of this area that is sort of heading over toward the next branch. And so anyway, here we go. This time of year, lots of stuff can grow very quickly. So don't be scared that you're ruining next year's crop at this point in the season. Get some good branching going on. Don't need it this high, so just cut it back. You can also sort of choose where your next branches come from, what leaves you leave. And so encouraging lower branching and ones that are shooting out this side. Pay attention where your grafts are. This graft is right here, so of course we don't want to cut that part off. See what else I can reach from this ladder. Okay, so the graft is way down here on this one. This is getting way too tall. So I guess this is the time for a saw. But this was definitely a vigorous variety that was going to take over a lot of sun space. So this kind of trimming actually, if you can imagine, takes a long time, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. Now, I'm just finding this, having eliminated some of the foliage. Here was a graft that actually didn't take, so there's no reason to leave this shoot on at all. That is Haden with a scar on it. So I will just cut that off entirely, and this appears to be a dead little branch here, so I can clean it up that way. And then we've got some more grafts here. Might not be going as quickly as I hoped it would. In fact, this might take hours. Almost all I can do from this ladder position. Okay, move this a little bit so I can reach some more. This would be interesting drooping down with fruit. It looks like it would be pulled down easily by weight of a little fruit, so I'm going to just leave that branch long. Oh, here we go. It's another failed graft right here. So I'll cut that off. There it is. Can reach a little bit more. Okay, time to move the ladder again. So it's tomorrow already, and I spent a little bit less than 2 hours on this tree, which is pretty much time for not having done it all. But most of the tree is exactly how I want it at this point in time. We've got the branches, the crossing branches cleared out, so hopefully it'll be easy to keep the honey kiss on its side and the cotton candy on its side. K3s on another branch back there. Also, some of the very upright branches were I cut down to a point where hopefully lateral branches will form. And then on the other side of the tree, the south side, I cut a whole lot from that area. we had some very enthusiastic branches that were heading toward the fence and the power line, and I just wanted to make sure that they didn't get there too quickly. And also I was trying to make space for each variety to grow. There's a variety that I grafted on a high branch that I want to cascade, but not cascade over another variety. And so I had to clear out that little section. And the only thing that's really left at this point is that I need to get a taller ladder for the very high branch. But some interesting things happened. This right here is K3 or Kathy, and that was just growing right above its peers. All the other branches were about this height, and this was the star performer. Of course, had to cut it back to some lower branches. Hopefully it'll have a more lateral growth habit, but it evidently has a tendency to shoot straight up, so that's a variety that we'll need to watch every year. Found some rather big branches of cotton candy, and then had to clear out a lot of branches like this that were shading out other varieties. So the main thing left to do is to get a tall ladder. I grafted a variety on the tallest branch that I actually want to cascade down and not grow any taller. So I'll either need a tall ladder or to climb up on that branch, and I think OSHA would prefer that I use a ladder, though I have proven that ladders are not always a safe alternative. So that's what I did with this particular tree that has so many varieties on it. I want each variety to survive, and so each variety has to have not only resources of the plant, but also have space to get to the sunshine. So another consideration is that I don't want this tree to get huge. I think I balanced out the tree and got all of the different varieties in their own space and not growing over another variety. So after I get this one little section of the tree done, this will be good until next year, and hopefully we'll have lots of good fruit on it next year.